Plaintiff Savannah Maria Garcia is a trans woman and an activist in the LGBTQ community, but she had a rough upbringing that included a life of drugs and prostitution. Savannah claims she promoted the defendant's product on social media and never got paid, so she's suing. Defendant Rodney Roussel admits he hired Savannah to promote his cosmetic line on social media, but says instead she dragged his name and his products through the mud. He's countersuing for an airline ticket and emotional distress.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Start with you.
I am a trans woman, a trans activist that has been through so much. I've been on drugs, I've been on prostituting, I've been homeless, going in and out of cars, back and forth, back and forth. And, you know, me being an internet sensational, I get all these deals and all these promises that they want me to promote things for them. So I met MC Shaky Rodney.
What do you mean by sensation? Give me a little more insight on your sensationalism.
My sensationalism is more of entertaining the LGBT community when people are going down, like they're going through something. I get on the live, go crazy, do different things, have different shows. I lip sync, or I just be me.
Okay. And how many followers you have?
1 million followers, because I'm that princess. I'm the El Paso princess.
All right, all right. And what were you saying about your upbringing? You were saying you had a troubled youth or a troubled upbringing. Tell me about that.
My parents didn't accept me. I left, and I just, you know, I went to live in the streets. When I went and living in the streets, I had nowhere to go. I had nothing to eat. Once I started prostituting, I was dating clients, husbands, baby daddies, uncles, nephews, whatever, to get me a hotel room. And the only way I can get that way is, you know, getting high.
So how did you get past that? How did you overcome it?
I overcame it by breaking down and asking God for forgiveness and asking him, is it another way that I could go? I went to ask for resources, and everyone helped me and got me housing. And I went to rehab. And after I went to rehab, I got off the drugs.
How long ago was that?
That was about 3 years ago, because I was off cocaine off and on, and I wanted to go out there and show everybody my experience so the younger generation don't have to live like this. So I went out, got people tested, gave out food, and, you know, told them my story. I was on reality TV, and I went on there and asked the food when I was supposed to be a trans activist, and I got so much backlash from that. Not just carry myself like a trans woman's supposed to.
If you have 1 million followers, you have a responsibility to influence them in a way that will help them enhance their lives.
Well, speaking of that, when I went to go have my sex change, I documented it. Okay. And a lot of people was asking me how and what and what's going on.
You put that on your social media?
Yes.
Great, great, yes. Great. And you got a good response?
I got a good response.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, all right, well, your defendant here, playing grand. You know I know that. I know a grand when I see grand, yes.
Certainly, Your Honor. You are in the presence of greatness. I am Rodney MC Shaky Roussel. I am the darling of New Orleans, Louisiana, and the belle of social media. And when it comes to social media influence, I am like the mother, the godmother of it. She's just like a little somebody's here. Now, everybody has a sob story. I was in prison for 9 years and 1 month. That's 3,316 days. But I came home and I turned my life around as well. Savannah has been given opportunity after opportunity after opportunity, chance after chance after chance to do something with herself. And I was a fan of Savannah at one point in time, but I am just over it. And it's just like, it's not just her not giving the LGBT community something to look up to. It's just like, how many opportunities and chances are we supposed to give her to make something of herself? I was one of those chances, and I thoroughly regret it. It not only cost me money, it cost my brand, it cost my name. I have been drugged through the mud from her. So I don't feel sorry for her. I don't have no empathy or sympathy for her, because at the end of the day, we all have had the problems, and we also all have had the opportunities. She just chose to squander hers.
Sounds like she has done something. She got 1 million followers. She says she has detailed her experience with sex reassignment surgery. She detailed that so that others could embrace it. You don't know how many lives she's changed. You don't know one way or the other.
Your Honor, you're absolutely correct. I don't know the extent of lives she's changed, but I can tell you one life she has changed, mine. At the end of the day, Savannah has made me...
For the worse, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sounds like she has done something. She got 1 million followers. She says she has detailed her experience. You don't know how many lives she's changed. You don't know one way or the other.
Your Honor, you're absolutely correct. I don't know the extent of lives she's changed, but I can tell you one life she has changed, mine. At the end of the day, Savannah has made me...
For the worse, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Plaintiff Savannah Maria Garcia was hired to promote the defendant's cosmetic line on social media. But the defendant says instead she dragged his name and his products through the mud.
Go ahead.
I know she thinks she Halle Berry and she sounded like Barry White and her shoulders strong like Barry Sanders, but at the end of the day, she is really giving us too much. At the end of the day, she changed my life, because I have so much distrust for that community now since meeting Savannah Maria Garcia. It has literally been the worst decision of my life. My brand, if I don't sell my products, Your Honor, I don't eat. And she has tried to through the last few months, she has made sure to drag my name, my company, my brand through the mud. How can she say she's uplifting the LGBTQ plus community when she's trying to take one of its stark and most admired, myself, members down?
I can see how you would be the subject of some admiration. I'm impressed. I'm impressed and amused
Fan going.
and entertained. So I should be. Yes, I should be. That's right. I am. I am. So there you have it. Now, how can you resent a community that you're a member of just because one did you wrong? Don't paint an entire community bad because of one scoundrel. If she's a scoundrel, I'm sorry. I don't mean that you believe she's a scoundrel.
No, Your Honor, you're 100% right. She is 100% a scoundrel.
I don't believe it. Let me find out. What has happened here? Because I don't believe it.
Your Honor, you see convicts and hoodlums like MC Shaky, BBW Shaky, with nails, press-on nails, foundation, eyelashes.
Not press on.
Just a microwave cross-dresser, and then they think they could come for the trans community. That's why the LGBTQ community don't get along now. We're in competition in everything. He want to transition, but he can't because he don't have the formula.
She's lying. I don't want to transition.
His shoulders is hard, the back is wide, and he looked like he needs to be on the football team playing wide receiver.
You already know that.
Are
you serious?
Where's your neck? I only see the shoulders and the head.
Rich girls don't have necks. I just want to let you know.
Y'all need to stop all this. I was letting you go. Tell me why you're suing.
We became friends, and as being a social media entertainer, I had so many followers. We made a deal where I promote his bonnets and his products, and also he gave me a line where I had my own product. And we had a deal where I would be paid $250. I would have to post every week, 4 times a week, and I would get my coin. I did not get no coin, nothing. We met in Vegas. When we met in Vegas, our agreement was him to drive with me back to LA. I called him and said, I'm leaving Vegas or whatever. What's up? What's the thing? He was like, oh, okay, bye. I'm like, you okay? He said, yeah, I'm okay. So after that, He called back like 5 minutes. Oh, I checked the flight, and the flight is $300 and something, and I don't get on coach. I'm first class. And I was like, okay.
That's right. That's right.
Exactly, Your Honor.
But Your Honor, okay, Your Honor, me being a generous person I am, he's supposed to be that queen, that fab girl, that rich girl. But where was your coins to get your first class? Even if you didn't go drive in my car, you're supposed to have your coins to go.
That wasn't my responsibility, Savannah. That was your responsibility.
Can I please talk?
That was your responsibility.
So what is the breach of contract that you are suing 3,000 for?
Because we made an agreement from January 20 to January 21, and I'm doing promotions and stuff, and I didn't get it.
A whole year?
A whole year. Your Honor, you should see how he be trying to read me and do all that.
Let's take a look.
Oh, they reported your ugly ass. I would have reported your ugly ass too. She was an ugly ass. I don't know if they out there. They got to be ugly.
You blacker than mother black.
They got to be a
over there looking like a live mother.
No, for real, sister. Somebody scrolling up on your. If somebody just scrolling up and they accidentally come to your page,
baby, it's a Superman that's your head.
I know you're lying. Do like that again. Do like that.
Season is
what the you got on your head some panties? What you got on your head some panties? What the is on your head? Oh my God! Oh my God!
You ready for television? Yeah. Now,
thank you, sir.
I don't know why you would show me that. You were worse than he was.
And that's who it was representing.
Why would you show me that? You were the worst on there.
Because Your
Honor. And she's representing the LGBTQ community and my brand with underwear on her head. Oh my God. Can you just imagine what I am as a business person and I am as a high upstanding member of the LGBTQ plus community, and to watch someone who is I represent and represents me walk around.
That wasn't underwear on her head. Was that
No, Your Honor. And you talking about was worse than him. That's why when I got home from Vegas, I went on live and I burnt all his products.
Why you underwear on her head?
It
don't matter.
No.
Because I burnt the bonnet. The bonnet that I was promoted, I burnt it.
How can she say she's uplifting the LGBTQ plus community when she's trying to take one of its stark and most admired myself members down?
I can see how you would be the subject of some admiration. I'm impressed and amused and entertained. So I should be. Yes, I should be. That's right. I am.
Plaintiff Savannah Maria Garcia was hired to promote the defendant's cosmetic line on social media. But the defendant says instead she dragged his name and his products through the mud.
Let me hear from you on the emotional distress.
The emotional distress, me depressed, me not getting my coins, me promoting, and I'm sure I have a big follower and my people who's buying his product. He's a criminal. Of course, I'm not going to get my money. And
how does that cause you emotional distress? That's just another client that hasn't paid you.
Because I worked hard. I spent my earned money. I work hard. I worked hard for promotion.
Let me hear your side of what happened with the contract.
I offered her an opportunity that I had not offered to anyone else. Not only did I go to her to promote my products that I already had, I also offered her a chance to have her own product on my line, as well as I offered to give her, for the promotion of all of my products and being kind of like a brand ambassador, $250 a month for 4 posts across social media, and she would get that regardless if anything sold or not. And that's in the contract on.
Now that sounds like it needs to be enforced. Why wouldn't I enforce that? $250 whether there's results or not.
Because she didn't do anything. She did not post a single post.
Part of the contract. I don't believe that. She wouldn't come in here asking for payment for the entire year and never posted one.
She didn't. She mentioned it in her live streams, but as far as her posting, there is not evidence of any post. I've never seen a post. I've heard people say she mentioned it. I've never seen her actually
we're talking
physically.
post. Was the agreement for you to post?
Your Honor, I post on my story. I post on Facebook. I post on the G. All of my platforms, I post.
You have one post today? Just one?
Why would I have one? Why would I have one post? And I'm not dealing with him no more. I burnt the bonnet. I wasn't getting no coins. So why would I keep his products up here? And he's a convicted felon, a criminal, and he was not going to give me my money.
Truthfully speaking, Your Honor, her page was deleted. She go on these drug-laden binges.
And Instagram would require it to be taken down?
The whole page.
Yes.
Instagram would take down the whole page.
You are too much.
I have. And it was a part of, I thought it was a part of my character, getting on live, sniffing coke, getting naked, and it was a part of my character.
You're right. You have embarrassed your community.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I didn't know you were doing that type of mess.
It was the drugs talking to me.
So
it was the drug. I would hit my bag and two season in my nose, and then I was like press live, and then I get all these 20K viewers at one time, and I just be on.
You are betraying your blessing, and I'm going to tell you, you better be careful. You know, one of the reasons I tell my story consistently and don't mind that people say, oh, okay, we didn't heard that before, because everybody hadn't heard it. And there's still some folks out there who can be influenced and inspired by it. And if I stop talking about it, you know what's going to happen to me? I'm going to get hit by a Mack truck. That's what I feel. I did so much bad that I feel unless I continue to do God's work of redeeming and inspiring other people to change their life, He's going to say, all that stuff you did.
That's it.
And you think you're just going to get a couple dollars and have fun and live the good life? Oh, no, I'll take all that. In fact, let me send this Mack truck. It ain't going to be slow. I'll make this immediate. And let me hear your counterclaim for $5,000 from her for airline ticket and emotional distress. She says that it sounds legitimate that she could not ride back with you because of the mess you had just started. But you describe what happened, and perhaps I got it wrong.
Because, Your Honor, when he first came to my hotel room, I walked in the wrong hotel room. He immediately got on live. I ran from the 43rd floor to the first floor in Vegas, and he sat there and got in my room and got on live and said I was high. I'm going to
You were high.
Oh, okay.
If you run 43 floors, you know you are high. You know, and it had to be some good cocaine. That was straight out of Peru.
Without breaking a sweat, Your Honor, I was literally so scared. In Vegas, we had happy times. We were there. And so she was like, you know what? This is her idea. She was like, you know what? Let's just drive back. We could be like Thelma and Louise, and we could have this wonderful, wonderful little time. So even when I'm planning my trip to Vegas, I was 100% relying on her to get me from Vegas to LA. She starts to flip out. She gets high or something. And then she got into it with me about the money. She kept saying something about money. The next thing I know, she's calling me saying, I left already. I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do? And she's like, oh, I left already. I'm gonna be in LA.
You are betraying your blessing. And I'm going to tell you, you better be careful. You know, one of the reasons I tell my story consistently and don't mind that people say, oh, okay, we didn't heard that before, because everybody hadn't heard it. And there's still some folks out there who can be influenced and inspired by it. And if I stop talking about it, you know what's going to happen to me? I'm going to get hit by a Mack truck.
Plaintiff Savannah Maria Garcia was hired to promote the defendant's cosmetic line on social media. But the defendant says instead she dragged his name and his products through the mud.
That doesn't sound like a hostile enough argument, ma'am, for you to leave. That doesn't sound hostile enough. Did anybody threaten each other? Did anybody threaten violence?
Your Honor.
Yes.
He was with another person, and they was talking about how small my car was, and my seat can go back, and he was too big for my car. Why would he plan a trip with me to Vegas anyway? Then you already know I was doing coke and I was off dope. Why would you even plan a trip for me?
Whatever the case, ma'am, it wasn't. I don't hear enough hostility. I don't hear danger. I don't hear danger. When I hear danger, then I'm convinced that people need to stay separated despite the consequence.
He was disrespectful.
Your Honor, Your Honor, can I show the video of how much pain, because it's to the extent of the pain and suffering that she has caused me. I've lost sales. I've lost other endorsement. I've lost a brand deal.
Okay, what video do you want to show me?
I want to show the video of her destroying my bonnet, which is the video of her. This is my brand. This is what I've built for all these years since I've been out of prison and put my blood, sweat, and tears into, and this is what she's done.
Start the video, folks. This for the ma'am.
And on live.
You did this for the public to see.
I sure did.
Look at that emerald green barn. Look at it,
My
ground.
brand.
What's the wrong? Look at that whole barn. I ain't done yet. I just started, cuz. I just started. Then I'm gonna throw them products out.
You need to leave them drugs alone because I have no idea why you would come in here to this courtroom. You've admitted to a drug problem that destroyed your life. You play a video for me where you are doing nothing but cursing. Then I see this. You know this was gonna come out. Your claim is dismissed. Yours is granted $5,000 for you. Have a good day.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you so much, Judge Mathis. Thank you. You're 100% right. You tried to play the game and lose, Miss Mama.
Shut up, you wide back, green animal looking punk.
Plaintiff Miguel Melendez had a one-night stand with the defendant, and they didn't see each other until a year later. Miguel claims the defendant became upset because he wasn't paying attention to her, so she vandalized his car, and he caught the incident on video. He's suing for the damages. Defendant Felicia Herrera says an hour before the incident with Miguel's car, he had crashed into her car and refused to take responsibility, and she became enraged.
Start with you.
Your Honor, I had met up with Felicia once last year. Didn't talk to her too much after we had hooked up, and I ended up running into her.
When you say you met up with her and then you said hooked up, that sounds like having sex.
Yes, sir.
That's what the kids now refer to it. When my kids used to come to me and say that, yeah, such and such hooked up with such and such. And then one would tell on the other, such and such hooked up with, oh, okay, me and my buddies. Hey, man, you want to hook up tonight?
Right.
Want to hook up and watch the game? What you up to? I'm going to hook up with my boys.
Yeah, now it means something.
No wonder what one of my sons said, Dad, we didn't know you were gay. I said, why you say that? You say you're going to hook up with your boys. Hook up means having relations. Oh. All right, well, I'm going to hook up with my boys and we're not going to have relations. That fit you all's description? Can I say it and say just no relations? But if you forget the relations part,
yeah,
you might give the wrong impression.
Right.
I don't care what impression people have of me regarding my sexual orientation. So what? I don't care what you think. I'm heterosexual, but if I was gay, I would readily admit it and be just as proud as I want to be. Right. So I'm just saying in the sense that there was some confusion.
Yes, there was relations, but just one time. And I had a...
Hook up.
Yeah, hook up. Yes.
Go ahead.
And I ended up running into her.
Did you know that the word hook up means sexual relations now?
Well,
it means like a one-night stand?
Yeah. I didn't know that. I thought it meant like kissing. I mean, I'm really
Yeah, I thought that too. You're right. Oh, that's the only other type of hookup I thought it might be. Let's just get together and make out.
Yeah.
Defendant Felicia Herrera had a one-night stand with the plaintiff, and he claims a year later, Felicia became upset because he wasn't paying attention to her at a party, so she vandalized his vehicle.
All right, so y'all did more than make out.
Yes, sir. And then we ran into each other at a party on the 4th of July, and she came up to me and said hi, and I initially didn't recognize her. So she kind of took it personal, I want to say, and kind of...
How long after hooking up did you
Probably-
not recognize her?
Probably like 11 months.
You a weed head or
No,
that
sir.
forgets everything or
I just, on the initial, when
you
she
were
walked
very
up,
drunk that night?
No, I hadn't started too much then.
Really? And forgot the woman. That's horrible. Did you know he had forgotten?
I just
Go ahead.
didn't recognize her at first, and she's like,
You don't have that many women. You ain't had that many women.
Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna stick up for you. He trying to hurt your feelings over here. That's right. Go ahead, sir. You forgot who she was, so you claim.
I just didn't recognize her.
Then what?
And she kind of took it to heart. She was like, "It's Felicia." I was like, "Oh well, my bad." And she kind of was this passive-aggressively flirting with me the rest of the night as it progressed. And she was with some friends. I was with some friends, and so I invited them after the party to come hot tubbing at my house. And so we got to my house.
Hot tubbing.
Yes.
Now, does that include sexual relations, or is that just get in the water?
Yeah, bubbles, definitely.
That's it.
Just hanging
No,
out. Really.
all right. 'Cause I gotta keep up with you guys' definitions and stuff. Hot tub might mean,
I just
sexual
had gotten it
relations. Go
installed.
ahead. So you invited everybody back to the hot tub.
Yeah, select few, and we continued to drink there. And I think as she got collectively more drunk, and I wasn't giving her the attention that she was seeking, just because she was being really aggressive when she was flirting, and I wasn't really feeling it. And she had taken it upon herself to go out front and start vandalizing my car. And she found the biggest rock.
Before we get to that, that's what you're suing for. Let me get some background from her. You give me some background, ma'am.
Okay, so basically, this is the true story. We went to a party together, and I didn't really pay attention to him, until he wrecked into my car, and he just kept going.
The first time you met him.
No. I met him.
You forgot too.
No, I remembered, but I knew it was him, because, we hung out before, and then he wrecked into my car. He made a giant dent on the side of my car, and he just kept going, and I was like, okay, well,
I have no idea what you're talking about, so I'm going to go back to him.
Okay.
He'll explain what happened with him. Go back to your claim.
Okay, so after we had been at the hot tub for about a couple hours, everybody got pretty drunk and we all had drivers. I was just like, it's time to call it a night, And so I was getting everybody that I had over, and we were in my backyard. She ran out to the front, and whoever she was with, and I heard my car alarm go off. And so I ran to the front, and at first I didn't see no initial damage because it was in the back. My car was parked facing my house. So I seen her car take off. And I don't know, I really didn't put two and two together right away, but then I have a Ring doorbell on my front camera, and I actually have the video for you to see.
Why do you think she did that? Or tell me the follow-up. You ask her, what happened, the follow-up, and you finding out what happened, or?
I mean, after that, I didn't even have her Snapchat,
Okay.
nothing, no information, no contact information. I had to get it from a friend of a friend.
And you still don't know why she did that?
No.
Defendant Felicia Herrera had a one-night stand with the plaintiff, and he claims a year later, Felicia became upset because he wasn't paying attention to her at a party, so she vandalized his vehicle.
Let's take a look. You say you have something?
Yes, I do.
Show me. Let's see. She said, I bet you won't never forget me.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you something to remember me by. So that was about, sir. Now, you don't know. I know. What do you say to that?
Well, I feel bad, but the real reason why I did that was because he wrecked into my car first, and I knew.
Before that
Yes,
incident.
like literally right before, like an hour before that.
You said he had been in the house, but tell me.
Yeah. So basically, the real reason why I did it was because he crashed into my car first, and yeah, that's it.
All right. What's your legal defense to not fixing his car? A legal defense. You don't have one? All right. Do you have something that tells me the estimate that
Yes, I do, sir.
you owed? What page is that on?
It would be page 19. Or no, 20.
19?
21, sorry.
21?
Sorry about that. Yes, sir.
Whoa, 7,000. All right. $5,000 is your judgment, sir. Good luck to you guys. Have a good day.
Plaintiff Alicia Chafin says her mother always told her the defendant's brother was her biological father, but he always denied it. Alicia is desperate to find out the truth, so she petitioned the court for a DNA test to see if she and the defendant are in fact related. Defendant Rashida Hanif says her heart goes out to Alicia, and she's happy to take a DNA test today and do whatever she can to help Alicia find her biological family.
You all have petitioned the court for a DNA test, and you are looking to see if Miss Rashida is your presumed father's sister?
Yes, sir.
Okay, give me some background on this.
My mom had me at a young age, and my grandmother raised me because my mom was, doing her thing and, in the streets, just living her life. And she never changed the name. She always kept the same story that he was my father. And
Who was your father?
Rashida brother. She always told me the same person. She never switched the story up.
Did she ever introduce you or try to introduce you? Or
He didn't want no dealing with me.
that's what she told you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
And when I got older, I met him once, and I told him, I believe you're my dad. He told me no. He told me, get over it, and he gave me another guy name. And I just want to know the truth. I always wanted, to have a dad.
How old were you when you saw him?
I want to say I was 21.
Mm-hmm. And where were you at?
I was at the state hospital at my job.
It was coincidence, or how did you come to see him?
I was working there, and he was there.
As a patient, or he was working there?
He was a patient there.
Okay. And when you told your mother, what did she say to that?
She told me, she said, I can't believe he did that. And she told me, just give up, why you so worried about a dad and you grown? And I did the best I could. My mother did what she can. Just let it go, get over it.
I thought you said your father told you that.
Both of them told me that. He asked me,
They
was I the
both
one
used that
stopping
term?
him?
They both used that term, get over it?
Yes.
And you don't know anything about whether she ever received any support for you, financial support?
She did not. One time when she tried, they sent her a letter telling her that she refused at court. They said that she walked out. And we never went to court because she never did get the papers. But
Do you know how old you were when that happened?
I think I supposed to been like 10.
Okay, and you think you know all about what happened with the filings
No, sir.
and all that?
I don't.
Okay. You're just going about what she told you.
Yes, sir.
All right. Same person who told you to get over it.
Yes, both of them.
I don't mean, I'm sorry, I shouldn't maybe be critical of a parent, but when a person is seeking something that's that dear and near to them, your own child, just sounds a little harsh to say, get over it.
Plaintiff Alicia Chafin believes the defendant's brother is her biological father. And although he denies it, the defendant has agreed to take a DNA test to help Alicia find her biological family.
Why don't you give me some background, young lady?
Alicia contacted me on social media and asked me if she could call me.
What did she tell you?
She said, I think your brother is my dad. And she had talked about, I think she said maybe she did a DNA with one of his other children, and it didn't match. And so maybe that child wasn't his, because we hadn't done any DNA tests. So I told her that whatever I could do to help, I'm willing to do it. My heart goes out to her and anybody that's looking to find their parent.
You ain't tell her to get over it?
Absolutely not. No, I have children and I'm a person, I'm a human being. So I want to do anything I can to help her.
I know at 21 is when you first met your presumed dad at the hospital, correct?
Yes, sir.
And prior to that, you just kind of...
Yes, sir. I just was like, I'm not gonna worry about it. But my kids getting older, and I have 4 girls, and I'm very big on them having a relationship with their fathers. All of them not doing the best they can, but I would never stop them from being a part of my girl's life.
Where's your mom at now?
She's at home in Mississippi.
And you haven't mentioned it to her back in recent years?
No, I haven't. Mm-hmm. I just got on Facebook one day and I just Googled the last name. Every now and then I'll be like, I want my dad, I don't care how old I am. I just want to know the truth. I want to know, is he my dad? I want to know the other family, the sisters. I just want answers.
And you never reached out to him after age 21, after that first encounter, which I wouldn't blame you much, but yeah, okay, just curious. Mm-hmm.
It was very mean. Mm-hmm. And he even accused me for stalking him and his wife. But I did an ancestry test to find out if his daughter and me was related. And that didn't come out that showed that we was related.
And you think that test was wrong?
In a way, I do. I mean, I believe my mom. I don't think she have no reason to just come up with his name, especially now, all the years, her answers never change, her story never changed. So I believe my mom, no matter what.
How about if this result is the same? You still believe your mom?
That's right.
Okay, well, I don't know. Mm-hmm. This test says you're not related either, so wow. Yes. This is the second time that the report has said no. So that might be something you want to, once again, reconcile with your mom. Okay, good luck to you. Bye-bye.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Rashida.
You're so welcome. I'm so sorry that your journey doesn't end here. I keep you in my prayers. You can always call and reach out to me.